participating in the political process because of whatever communication was happening. So they even recognized Abraham Lincoln as president. They were still trying to be Confederate and a motherfucker. They didn't respect anything that was getting passed down from the Indian Army. So it took a while for the messages to get through to actually figure it just ease. That's why we celebrate that shit out.
Well, if you think about the Jews and how they operate, it's called a war on them. Yeah. But fabricate the memory for it. And yeah, the Europeans and stuff, they were moving, because if I was going to go by the documentation alone, I have to say that in some states, the slave was sold for $11, and another state was sold for $1,000 at the same exact time. Not only that, it wouldn't be economical to keep slaves. And then on top of that, you don't have no book, except the one Disney games. And then, because this is the thing about slavery, it's proof and the poison is true. If the original slave story was introduced to us mainly roots, and roots was stolen from a white guy named Harold Corlett of Africa. And then we keep going through the Harriet Tubman history. I'm glad you have that name, because Harriet Tubman actually ran a railroad. Have you ever read her quotes in the feminist reviews? Have you ever read that? And have you ever noticed that the white people at that time, they Alice Walker, I can't remember, she had stolen the story of Harriet Tubman. And they used that story to appropriate her husband's pension. So you have to know that was the right. So why are we dealing with such a poisonous truth?
At the end of the day, I know that white people that did a lot of associates with people in the economy and just a lot of people's necks, but at the end of the day, it's really important for us to be able to have respect and commerce and be able to have agency in the global economy. And I really appreciate the fact that our individuals fought really hard for all brown people, African individuals, that here to be able to be seen as people, to be able to be respected in business, in education, and all these global institutions that we participate in. The global economy now is just not, we're not farmers no more, bro. We're not sharecroppers no more. We need to fight for respect in that way so that we can traverse the Western world, the Eastern world, just the entire world in general, because there's a lot of fuck shit going on.
So mine is like, I'm listening to you speak, you know, it's giving me that, you know, you watch a lot of Dave Calloway, right? Because he's the first person to say that the Harriet Tubman story was fake and fabricated. So are you basically trying to say that blacks are Native Americans, bro? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Fully codified in the 1970s. And before that, it was supposed to be Indians, or something like that. And those Indians were the 1850s, know nothing, so mostly from Siberia. And today they're actually admitting that. So when we look at the history, I mean, what do we call ourselves? And we can go back to the history. We can see within the 1790 census that we are listed as Negroes. There's no area for free Negroes. There's an area for free whites. Then there's an area for slaves. There's no area for free colors. Right? So who are we? And why is it that we are at the beginning of the story?
Well, are you guys the colors? Were the colors here before the Siberians? Or were the colors brought on slave ships owned by the Jews?
Colors were here far before the Siberians. If you ever want to check was it Smithsonian? They have documents where they show the illustrations of black natives in America.
Alright, wait, I can easily debunk this, bro. Like the whole, this shit is so dumb, bro. Bro, if you go deep into the Amazon rainforest, right, which is in Southern America, bro, you're gonna find indigenous people, quote unquote Native Americans. They're still there. You know, they still live in their indigenous. Hold on. They still live in their indigenous tribe.
Hold on.
They still live in their indigenous tribal ways. They have their language. They have their culture. They have their belief system. Whatever, right? And, you know, these people have been there for thousands of years. And, you know, studies show that the Native Americans, which lived in Southern America, were related to the ones that lived in Northern America, and even the ones that lived in Canada, Alaska, even the Caribbean island. They were all related to one another, right? So my thing is this, right? If blacks are the true Native Americans, how come you don't find them in those regions, right? You don't find, the only places you find black people predominantly is in the southern states of the United States, Brazil, the Caribbean island, and that's it, right? And you know why? Because that's where they took all the enslaved Africans. You don't see them deep into the jungle of Brazil. You don't see them all the way in Alaska. No, you don't see them. And also, right, blacks being natives, Africans being natives to the Americas, especially North America, like that can't be, because for one, right, if North America was truly the indigenous land of black people wouldn't be vitamin D deficient in America, and they're vitamin D deficient because of the sunlight. It's very impotent to the sunlight that is in Africa. No, literally.
We literally are all vitamin D deficient, like like themselves.
This is not your land. Your body can't even. It's not even adapted to these lands, bro. This is why.
More vitamins because
Harry, can I respond to you for a second? So if you're resting upon vitamin D deficiency, therefore you'll be trying to say that there's some form of evolutionary process why somebody will be able to get more vitamin D from living inside an area, but that's not proven. What your claim is that basically I've never seen a Chinese in Japan. Is that dumb? I mean, I would think so. I've never gone to China and asked where you come from. Have you done that? I've never gone to Africa and asked where you come from. Even though most of the Africans came from America, 30,000 black Americans were sent from America. Wait, brother, I'll let you land. See, you have to start getting triggered every time somebody starts breaking out you. I don't even believe in that tourist attraction. You people made the monuments of piece of wood. I think that's
just Jewish invention.
Yeah, literally. And that's the problem, right?
Why did Jews do that? Like, why would you guys came here 30,000 years before the Native Americans, quote unquote, and then they brought you on their Jew canoes all across from Africa. Actually, no, they didn't. So why did they own the slave ships if you guys didn't come from Africa? I'm confused.
Well, this is the problem. There was no such thing as a slave ship. A slave ship is you believing in the stupidness that they say. But for the most part, if you have access to documents and you could claim that you have slaves, then you could take those documents into the government and get reimbursed. You don't actually have to have slaves, you just have to have a photograph.
Yeah, right.
And this is what I'm finding. It's the same way they had IMPACT and all these other organizations who steal money off the backs of taxpayers. They had a different way to do it back in the days. But if I go by the documentation, one of the first slaves recorded, his name was Sambo, which is a hidden deity. And not only that, they said that he worked less hours as an African slave than the white slaves. And then on top of that, they said that he wanted to become a Christian. And that was going to screw up the whole slave movement, because the white Christians used to work longer than African non-Christians.
Well, I kind of want to change back to the topic because, like, however, these indigenous blacks, however they got here, why are black women mad about this beautiful white woman that had an ad? And she said, well, it's in the genes. And, obviously being pretty and blonde hair and blue eyed is in your genes, obviously. Why is that bad?
Genes is the basis of the concept of eugenics. And if anybody ascribes to that stupidness, which is only proven by the PCR test invented by Kerry Mullis, who said it was totally theoretical in the first place, and therefore you shouldn't follow it. I mean, you have to be not only an idiot, you have to be also pushing.
Well, hold on. You say it's stupid, but let's just start something very factual. How do you get blonde hair and blue eyes? There's only one correct answer.
From your parents.
Which is your genes.
No, you just say
genes. Yeah, that's what you inherit from your parents is their genes.
Can you show?
Yeah, that's common sense. Like you get, if you have two tall parents, you're likely going to be tall. If you have two very short parents, you're likely going to be very short. It's just, I mean, and of course, the chance of how many people, if I was to go to, I don't know, Guatemala, to one of where the natives live, and let's say one of the Mayan groups, they generally short in stature, they have kind of a different facial shape, dark skinned, they have pretty particular features. they don't have blonde hair, blue eyed kids. Like that's just not a thing unless it's like albino, which is that's a autoimmune disorder where your immune system attacks your own melanin sites and like in your eyes, basically the pigment in your eyes and your skin. It's not that you inherited the genes for light skin or eyes.
What is melanin, Pepe? What is melanin?
Melanin, well, there's like three main types of melanin, but that's basically what gives you your skin coloring. And the amount of it and which type of melanin you get will pretty much dictate your skin color.
Can you inject melanin in vitro to change the color of a child?
Are you talking about like gene editing?
No, injecting the melanin itself. I'm not talking about genes yet. But can you inject the melanin to change the color of the child in vitro?
I never heard of such a thing.
So can melanin be used to modify anybody's complexion in vitro or out of vitro?
Reminders, do you think the Sweetie's the hottest beautiful? Sydney Sweetie? Sydney Sweetie. I think it's Sydney Sweetie. She's gorgeous though.
Yeah, she don't look bad. Hopefully she's a girl.
I think it's in the genes, like Pepe said. She may have really good genes, and that's why she's beautiful.
I mean,
I thought she bought some nice genes. I thought that was the concept of the article. But for the most part,
I mean, yeah, she bought some nice jeans. It was a play on words, so she bought a nice pair of blue jeans.
Yeah, but can you show us genes? GENE.
Yes. There's people who work in yes, they're geneticists, and they absolutely. So, for example, we do know which genes are responsible for many things, not all things, but for many things, there's obviously it's.
Why is it that the inventor of DNA genealogical testing says it's less than 0.01% accurate? Rick Kittles.
When this was in what decade?
It's in the decade that he invented. Would that be a problem?
Yeah, because it probably wasn't that accurate at the time.
So what will make it more accurate now?
Oh, you identify more genes.
Yeah.
You identify more genes, and you see you see whether they have a correlation or causation with certain traits.
Yeah, but even recently, right? People were getting different gene tests from different places, and they were getting different results.
Not really. I mean, like when it comes to ancestry, or what are you talking about?
Like your parents.
Yeah, good chopping up with you, Pepe, man. I mean, it's an interesting room. I like the fact that you keep it jiggy or whatever, but you have to research some stuff. You know, God bless you.
Yeah, but how does that relate to the title? I'm really confused.
I know. You're so dumb. I just entertain
it was just me. I didn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. Are those your kids in your? I had to look at your PTR. Are your profile? So are those your kids?
Yeah, those are my children.
So you got blonde hair babies. Do you have like blonde hair kids? I'm guessing it's genetic.
That's genetic. Their dad has blonde hair. My husband's white.
There you go. And you have some light. I can tell you look like you're part black, but you have some white in you. Are you part black?
I'm gonna say like 25% black because my mom's mixed and my dad's white.
There you go. So at least I somewhat accurately described you. That's cool. You see, you're good looking. Like the thing is, like if you're like half black and half white, you can either be like I think like very good looking or like, but it turns out horrible.
And are you talking about Harriet?
Oh no, I'm fully
Harriet looks black.
Yeah, I thought she looked black. You're talking about Mila, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mila, okay, look, let me be honest with you, and I'm not gonna mince any words. Mila is about 25% black.
She just said that.
Yeah, she's not more than that.
I'm aware of that. My mom is mixed. Like I said, my dad is white, and her mom is black. My dad is just white.
You have like that 60% black voice tonality, but looks-wise, you're about. Come on now, Pepe. Let's be honest. I'm being honest. She has about 60% voice tonality, but 25% looks. Like, look, Musanda, he's a pure black man. Musanda is pure and black.
Black man.
He's straight from the jungle. Yeah.
No,
Mila, would you fucking Indian?
No, thank you.
Oh wow.
she
He's
would.
taking a dig at. He's taking a dig at
I don't know. She would suck the dick on an hourly rate.
She's married. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I said.
actually-
No, thank you.
I do. I actually, that is like a huge pet peeve of mine. Is like, I don't really flirt with women on here. People know that, but like, I do. I really don't like when somebody's married. It's weird. Even somebody who says,
Yeah, you like married people.
I don't like it when people like try to talk to married. Okay.
I didn't know she was a married
I
lady.
can put my bio for those.
I mean, like, where are you from, brother?
Yeah, Musanda tried to pull a joke, right? I responded to the joke, but I did
Sound
not.
like you need to get the fuck out.
No, it sounds like you need to stay away from daycares and grade schools. You fucking pedo. Why are you fucking up my stage, Wall Street?
Well, it's okay. Let him stay. The pedophile stick around for a bit. You know, let's poke fun at the pedophile.
Wait, is he? Wait, Pepe.
No, he just looks like one. He just looks like one. Like if I saw him across from a daycare, I would tell him get the fuck away.
He's wearing the classic pedophile goggles.
You want some money? Anyway, that's a little ridiculous.
No, you would. I mean, I get you. You probably wouldn't like hurt a kid, but you would be the guy like sniffing their bicycle seats, you know, outside the school because you're fucking weird.
Fucking weird.
Well, I tell you what, after I got divorced, I dated women that were like 19 to 28. I dated
So you were
5 women at
so you're a
once
creep.
that were
Amazing.
those and within that age range, and it was incredible, dude. So it's good stuff. 2 in New York and 2 in LA, 1 in DC, Miami. Yeah. So I mean,
16.
I was like 37, and they were like 20 to 28. That's about it.
Yeah, I think you're forex trader. Forex trader, Mr. Times.
No,
He's a billionaire.
I do angel investing. I did run for president of the United States.
Why are you being a cheap? Why are you being a stingy fucking piece of shit? Like you're not even a Jew, and you're being this goddamn stingy that you won't put $1,000 in my cash app. That's what happened. I told you, like I agreed to it. Like if you're a billionaire, you could bury me in paperwork to where I would have to be bankrupt, and I would have to owe a lot of money. And so like, dude, if I said I would give it right back to you on Cash App, like I mean, but you wouldn't even do that. A billionaire would be like, okay, $1,000.
Do you know why rich people have money? Because they don't spend it. I mean.
It's not spending it.
Over
It's not
time,
spending
I already sent you money, dude. Over time, I'll send
Send
you.
me $1, you faggot.
Okay, so now
I was telling me to prove that you're
now tonight
you're
I'll
a
send you
billionaire.
$10, but you don't say any more derogatory things about it.
No, I'm going to say a lot of. You know what? If you're a billionaire, you would probably sue me.
Yeah, no.
Hey, but you know what?
But,
How the derogatory if it's not true?
Well, it is considered libel and slander if you make accusations.
Oh no, I mean, but just take off. Just leave me out of the racial slurs or like the derogatory slurs.
You're either white. You know that.
Nobody call you.
I'm white trash that made it a bit, and I saw a lot of. That's it. I mean, enough to know. Now, I think now. What is it now? Can you access any Fortune 1000 CEO in the world?
Yeah, so a white American nigger, right, who's done a little bit for himself, he got a risk. All right, fine. Like how much?
Okay, so can you get to any account? So and I can contact any
I'm not
politician.
Jewish, so I don't have those kinds of connections.
Across the world, any Fortune 1000 CEO, and I have made people millions of dollars. It's true.
Do you fuck little kids?
No, I don't.
Hey, yo, come on.
Jeez.
Yeah, I get it. That's what you mean.
funny, but you guys, like, we can't talk about kids.
Hey, real quick, Pepe, so yeah, the topic, and just to deal with the topic of the room, is this Sydney Sweeney the same Rod that was in that Spider-Verse?
I don't know who this dumped into it.
Same the Euphoria series.
Very serious.
I just think it's funny that people are getting triggered. They're saying there's actually people. So I'll just play the ad. This is Zach had it all queued up, but this room like never really took off. So it's just like, I'm just kind of shooting the shit. But let me play it. So like there was a controversial part of it. The ad and.
One pictures that
Here's what I'll play it.
From parents to us. Genes are passed down from parents to
Okay, I'll play it right now. This is what she says.
genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney, Casper genes.
So that was what was said, and it was kind of like implying, obviously, it was a play on words, like blue jeans, like that, the jeans with the J, and then there's jeans with the G, they sound the same, and then, so you've got like a whole bunch of like unhinged, like responses, which I kind of thought were a little humorous, they're so like just out there and crazy, like, okay, like for example, here's this one's black. It's actually not black women that have been doing this. I just put this in the title because black people will chip out when I put shit like this in the title. No offense, but I am racist and I utilize stereotypes. But here's what this she looks like she's a like mulatto. She doesn't look full black. But listen to her reaction to this commercial.
Yeah, that got me too.
She's crying.
And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there, but then even then I feel like they'll be like, oh no. Kinda like they are with
They're gonna hang us, they're just gonna hang us. But to be honest with you, most of nearly all of it, boy, I don't think it is that. Why are you crying?
Because she's African American, goddammit, they do
No, she's half black. But the thing is though, is despite the name of this room, like 99% of the goddamn responses to this fucking ad have been from like white people. And a lot of them, like even white men, like the fucking faggots they are. Like white men are a bunch of some of the biggest faggots in the world. And they're just like crying. They're like, this is Nazi. There's no black dude. I haven't seen one black dude say, this is white supremacy. This is Nazism. That didn't happen. So I did find one biracial that happened to make a video. And then I saw a whole bunch of white women, a whole lot of white women. And then one Asian woman, she's saying it's white supremacy, which is, it's this stupid Asian bitch. What did she say? Like, it's just so, like histrionic and fucking retarded.
Well, when I describe you like the way dumbass merch like this, I mean, really, make America great again. When was America ever great? Their definition of greatness was when this country was full of white supremacists and that slavery still existed. And now we have this interesting ad with a play on words where we pass on blue genes to those genetically with blue eyes. I mean, it's no accident that Sydney Sweeney's initials are SS.
SF, like as in the SS, the Nazi. And I'll just go ahead and like I'll post a link so you can see what this Asian cunt grad looks like. Stupid whore. I hope a lot of things happen in her future. I don't condone it, but some of those things might include I don't know, the plague, rape, maybe rape again, and I don't know, SARS. They get that shit in Asia, I guess. I don't know. But here's what that stupid bitch looks like. Put it in the chat.
Well, I mean, shit, I hear the same thing everybody else is hearing. Sometimes, and the only reason why I hear it the same way, because being a black woman, we have our own little public language that we talk about y'all. And I mean, it should give me coded racial language like it's advertised to white people. Well, I mean, which is fine. Like if they want to advertise to white people, whatever, I don't have to buy their jeans, and I have wide hips and a certain ratio going on. And so if it's advertised to white people, it's probably going to be the best jeans for me and my black ass. But yeah, it does sound like coded racial language. But like I said, in my my dad, we used to use coded racial language all the time. What is a coded racial language that was co-opted by white Americans was the term woke. And initially woke was seen as like not being a fucking NPC and thinking for yourself, and
Democrat now it's like you're a black or Democrat, any type of white.
Now it's a political term, but it needs to be like 15 years about keeping your interest as an African American person active, so we'll say you should like say woker, you woker, and all this other shit. So coded racial language is a thing, and it does kind of sound like that.
We did steal that. That was a term. It's decades old, but the woke. With the dialect that they would speak when they would say "stay woke," they didn't have grammatically, it wouldn't sound correct to a lot of us, but it was kind of when you first heard it like 7 years ago. The woke thing, it did come off as kind of racist because you realize you were using it in a way that Southern blacks would have used the word, and then now we apply it to like everybody.
Even on the movies, but it don't say stay woke. Let me say this.
Can you send that Elika invite here on the stage? She might have something to contribute to. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, I don't have 50% HIV in my country.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Okay, Jesus Christ, I don't need the African and the Indian to fight back and forth. Like, Jesus Christ, we're ready to go. Jesus.
So just to build off of that, here he is. So that term was very well known as far as like when you deal with more conscious black people, specifically like with the black conscious community, because I've observed them years ago. Then they always use a term really conscious and unconscious, or it be synonymous with woke or stay woke, just to be aware of all the things that's going on in this country, the racial dynamics, dealing with black people and whatnot. Somewhere along the line in 2015, I think that word became a political talking point by liberal white people that took the term and made it into a term to say, oh, well, this is an inclusion of everything. Very similar to how originally the civil rights movement had nothing to do with none of this homosexual sodomite shit that you see now. It was originally for black people, but MLK's, let's go call it what it is, homosexual lover, D.R. Rustin, switched it over in the 1970s and said this is no longer a movement for black people, this is a movement for the transgender, bisexual, homosexual, lesbian, gay, whatever, right? The fucking LGBT movement. So that's what it became. So very similar to the word woke, has been morphed in the same exact way to these political talking points, whether it be the left or the right.
What's the rest of how that happened?
It's the Black Civil Rights Movement is the garden. The LGBTQ movement is like algae to our garden of civil rights. I swear to God, it always populate so closely and around, and if we don't do anything about it, it's gonna fully engulf. It does. It fully engulfs our movements every fucking time. I don't know why, but it happens. Long story short, because I, as a Black woman, we're coming up with new shit every day. Right now, we're coming up with new racialized political cues that only us understand between each other. So when that commercial comes out, it's like, it feels familiar.
Is the problem here is that because I saw the ad. Personally, it's some white woman. I don't know. Maybe she's an actor. She's wearing jeans at the bonnet, the front bonnet of the car that she gets into a car. Well, what's the problem with that? I don't see the white supremacy. I can't say that. There's no trolling or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't either. But listen to what this stupid white whore had to say. Okay, this is one of their responses.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it. I feel like Sydney Sweeney getting canceled for Yahtzee propaganda should have been on everyone's bingo card at this point.
So this is a whole bunch of white women bitching about it. These are filthy white fucking gutter whores, sluts, okay, that are talking about this. And, you know, if rape was ever deserved by anybody, which I absolutely do not condone, you know, I'm just saying, let's just forget I said that, but here we go.
Believe it or not, it does keep getting worse because they have continued to drop more ads over the last few days. And today I'm going to show you the most horrific and problematic one. As always, make sure you like, rate, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But if you're not already up to date, here's what's going on. This week, Sydney Sweeney launched an ad campaign with American Eagle that is very clearly white supremacy propaganda. And in any other timeline, it might have been less noticeable, but given the current climate of things, it is extremely obvious, and it has garnered them a lot of attention, and even their stocks have gone up because of it. This shouldn't really be a shock. In the past, we've seen her with her family members who are all clearly red hat. In the moment, some people gave her a pass for that, obviously, because you can't choose your family, but her silence since then, and this campaign with American Eagle now really seals the deal with where she's at. Obviously, the campaign goes beyond just a bunch of photos and videos in which she's wearing jeans where none of them seem to fit, which was an odd choice. But every single ad is specifically emphasizing this double entendre with the word jeans, saying that Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. That is said throughout the ads over and over and over again.
See, this is what I don't get. You know, despite the title of this room, because Black people get triggered easily, and that's just how they're born. I didn't make them that way. It is all white women that are bitching about. I found one tragic mulatto that is bitching and crying about the ad. But other than that, it has been nothing but white women. And even there's one black guy in like that I could find, and he's just like, well, like, what's the big goddamn deal? I don't get it. Like, why is everybody upset? But then you even find Jesus Christ, you find white males bitching about it. This is Nazi rhetoric. It is horrible. Like, you fucking faggots deserve to go into a wood chipper feet first. Like, you're so goddamn pathetic. Like, these people are so fucking annoying. But yeah.
Or maybe they're just liberals trying to enter the Black community. But it's not like that. Like, I mean, what does this do for the Black American? If I'm being honest with you, being in an ad, or at least I don't know if a Black American can correct me or something. I don't know. I just feel like it's wolf in sheep clothing, trying to hide again, so that it makes it look like, oh, blacks complain about everything. Because like you said, it's mostly white women pushing this.
And white faggot men. Go ahead, Roland.
I'm just so sorry. I mean, honestly, I've gone through a transformation. I no longer have any sympathy whatsoever for these dumb social fucking causes. I do not care. It's all fat lesbian women or ugly fucking women that are getting upset about this, or weird fucking dudes. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. There's like so many more things to care about. And these people are just weaponizing their victimhood. I'm so sick of giving weak people power, of letting their victimhood be a way in which they instantiate themselves within a powerful place in society. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I have no more care about listening into these issues, a lot of issues, not just this. I mean, generally, I just don't give a fuck. I'm so beyond it at this point. Go ahead, Beth.
Hey, I was just like clarifying. So is the title saying that women in general are jealous of Sydney Sweeney, or in particular black women?
So he's saying that black women were, it's a troll title, he's saying that black women were, but the gag is, his whole issue is that it's only white women who are responding or reacting to this particular ad. And I agree, because first of all, I didn't know that lady's name. I just know it's the 5-year-old lady that's like the 16-year-old from Euphoria. She's really pretty. Her hair's not even that color. She has dark hair in the show. But it does sound like racial coded language. I think that white women and liberals don't understand that we're past the little racist coded language. You know, first of all, we know that we can be racist. Like, we know how we're past that. We just want to make sure that we ain't getting deported with the our citizenship is secured while they're deporting all the goddamn things, trying to, all the people who are not citizens, and then trying to change the Constitution to where naturalized citizens, which was the law that allowed us to become citizens in America. They're trying to change the Constitution in the specific law that protects our citizenship in this country. That's what we worried about. We worried about Donald Trump's economy and our life.
So I made
I was gonna say,
this title just to like, because I was bored, and then I made this title, and no, like I saw like all the reactions to calling it a Nazi ad, and it was all like nearly all white people. I found like one mulatto and then like one Asian lady, but it was all white women. And then a few white men, and then there was like I found one of a black man. He's just like, oh, what? Like, why is anybody offended?
yeah. So my opinion on it, like, because I came across it because I was on TikTok and I kept seeing stuff like they're like, oh, did you see the Sydney Sweeney ad? I'm like, the ad she did for jeans, and I'm like, so I watched it, and when I first looked at it, I didn't, notice anything racist per se. I was just like, okay, it's very like, I guess she's using sexual innuendos, which was kind of like weird for an ad about jeans, but I was like, okay. But then it
been on Chuck Schumer's desk since May of 2023. It was the one bill that would secure the border. Border Patrol has endorsed President Trump. Law enforcement.
Sort of self-awareness, I'm just shy about that.
He's doing it. Andrew, what? How are you?
It was hilarious, Akeem.
I got to try again. I tried it. I'm going to tell you, I hate sequels, and for the most part, I hate anything that's made for Netflix. I thought it was okay. It's not as good as the first one. I don't think Adam Sandler's all that great anyhow. I like Punch Drunk Love, like that. But I think overall he's overrated. I like him, and I think we talked about this the other day. Where I like that when he does projects, he's always thinking like, how do I get my homies in these projects so they can get a payday? And I can't explain why he's the guy from SNL that went on to make all the money. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't think he has nearly the talent as some of the other alum from SNL, but for whatever reason, he connects with people and he made a lot of money. But I do appreciate the fact that he always thinks of bringing his homies in his project.
When they got better from SNL, then he just he set up his own production company, and he told the whole lot that you're never going to have to worry about being out. We're going to make movies and films together. I'm always going to try to include you, and he always hands everyone of their careers. He's always like backing them, so it's like a big circle he's got.
Yeah, and Kish mentioned in the chat, Uncut Gems. I think some people poured it on a little thick. They made it sound like it was like this, like Dustin Hoffman, esque performance. It wasn't that, but I do think he shows that he can act if push comes to shove. What's your guys' favorite movie with him?
But I think I would really like Uncut Gems because the kid is in it, the kid's there. I really like it.
The line from Billy Madison, it's not even his. That is the stupidest thing. Everyone is stupider having heard that. We are all now dumber having heard it. Like, I want to get that on a soundboard and fucking play that every time somebody says something retarded on here. Just play that whenever it's talking. Oh my god, Concrete. Tom, do you know about this Concrete fella?